And it's my pleasure this morning to give you the next 20 to 30 minutes, and I promise you no more than 30 minutes of some presentation pleasure on the next generation of Iconn. And if you all have any questions, what I'd really appreciate is if you could just hold them off till the end. If you do have questions, please do type them out. It's easier for me to actually read them in the participants Q&A section on the left-hand corner of your screen. And if we can't get back to you, we run out of time today, then of course what we can do is get back to you via your sales team or your support team from Gardner Denver. So with this in mind, got a few slides. I promise it's not going to be war and peace, but it should give you the information hopefully to really, float your boat and get you going around Iconn on the next generation. But as promised, I just want to really give you a bit more of an update. And there's a few things I want to talk about today. One is, how is the current version 1, going? And that, to me, is really important because it's a bit of feedback to you, to your efforts, to what's happening in the market, really, around Iconn, and the real great stories that are coming out from this. I then want to talk about, the new features of Iconn on the basic version 1, which we've updated today. So we're going to give a little bit of an update on Universal, so you're all clear on that. We're going to give an update onto the next generation of Iconn, which is high definition. And then we're going to talk about the future of sensors and all the extra sensors that we've got around the platform as well today. So what's happening with Iconn version 1? Well done to all of you on the call. We've got, as of the end of February, over 11,000 Icons out there. Now that's a staggering number when you consider it, and it's just showing the take-up of the technology and the demand for the technology, which is more important, and the demand from the service, which again is even more important from you, the distributors that service those end customers. So we've got a real, staggering growth number. But actually, that's not all. What we're seeing is now that people are switching on to the message about, actually, it's all about customer experience. It's about changing the way we work with our customers. And that factor is growing every day. And we're seeing more and more you distributors pick up on this and realize the benefits for you to enable that better service to your customers. So, well done, and it's definitely changing that experience. On top of that, we've seen over 25,000 hours of machine shutdown prevented. That, to me, somebody go on mute, please? Thank you. It's a staggering amount of information that we've collected and produced back into the business. So it's fantastic stuff. And on top of that, we've prevented several major shutdowns. Well, those shutdowns have been developed around Saudi Arabia, in North America, and in Europe. So it's a staggering movement around, just using the basics of Iconn to collect data and to give people that extra peace of mind to say, actually, you've got a warning on that machine. We're coming out there, and we're going to really, really, prevent any machine, hopefully now, going to failure mode. So well done. And of those machines that we've seen connected, and this is really, to me, a big message coming out there. Of those distributors which have really embraced Iconn, they've actually seen, on average, a 30% increase in aftermarket revenues. Why? Well, there's a number of reasons for that. Some of those distributors have not just used Iconn for themselves, but they've put it into their service contracts. They've actually put customers onto another way to manage and maintain their machines. We've got some of our distributors around the world not just putting into service contracts, putting customers onto direct debits, but actually they're using it as a tool to leave a service there and then. So, they say, look, Iconn's fitted to Gardner Denver machines. We've got retrofit kits. If you sign up with us now today, agree a new service contract, we'll let you have access to Iconn. And people are using that as a differentiator. Let's be clear here. Iconn is an enabler to help you work smarter and work differently. And again, the openness of the platform is giving customers, the end users, access to their own data. So therefore, you're helping them understand the value of a service tool which is developed and enabled by GD. But onwards and upwards, what else is happening now beyond Iconn? And I want to make you aware of this because it's important that you know it's not just a stop, fit, forget, walk away. Once we've got that machine connected in the field, people are now asking us to do more things. And on a recent distributor conference, the UK distributors or EMEA distributors took part in a feedback session with the sales team to say what they would like, what more things would they like from it. Well, one of those I'm pleased to announce is Iconn HD. And Iconn HD or Iconn High Definition is actually taking what is inside that machine and moving us from a version 1 state to a data minute by minute. Now, when we've spoken to some of our leading distributors about this, a lot of our distributors have seen the value in having that peace of mind of that data and that trending information and all the information that can be collected off that machine, collected more or less in real time. And when you do that, that gives you the capability to create your own dashboards on the platform and also use your own rules and alerts. So, for example, today, on the basic version of Iconn, we collect that data from the controller. That controller and the thresholds for those alerts are taken from the controller because the whole point is to work with that same customer experience. When they see a fault, they know there's a problem, and when they walk up to that controller, they get the same fault mimicked. And it's all about consistency. Now with Iconn HD, all that data can be deployed in almost real time to you, distributor, and you can then put your own rules or your own pre-warnings on that data. For example, if you've got a temperature, if you've got a change over time, you want to add extra richness to that interaction for your customer, maybe put it into another contract, and you can actually then design that in. And importantly, people are starting to use this. We're starting to see our distributors in certain countries already enable this. We've got live HD contracts happening in France, in England, and also in South Africa, and also in Australasia as well. So now people are starting to pick up on this demand. But what I will say is, with all this extra data, becomes an extra need to manage. So what I would encourage, if you're interested in HD, and HD is a subscription tool. You know, to move from the free model of Iconn up to HD, there is a cost associated with that. And your sales teams have all got the new models and the new costs of deploying Iconn HD. They can be in touch after this call if you're interested in moving that forward. So Iconn HD gives you the capability to create your own rules and alerts and to make it your own. And to me, that's really important. You know, we've done it, we've enabled it. That machine now, where you fitted it, is your heartbeat into your customer. And actually, more importantly now, it's the connectivity block. So what we're moving into with HD and these next versions really starts to change the way customers perceive us, Gardner Denver, and you, their trusted partner, in doing the management and maintenance of these products. But what else? So we've now done Iconn HD. We've got the compressors connected. You're getting those compressors connected. We've got extra data features. One thing we've also promised is the capability to connect any brand. Now this is really, really, really important message to the market. It's a really important message to customers, and it's a really important message that differentiates you when you're pitching for new service and for new deals. And we're already seeing our leading people use this to get those competitor machines connected. I will say one thing, it's not complex. It's not meant to be complex. Why? Because in the market, globally, there's a problem. There's a problem that the major other suppliers of brands are creating their own data platforms for collecting, and they're creating their own systems, but only for their own brands. And that's creating a problem for the customer. The customer as a problem because they may have bought multiple brands over time. And what we've done with Iconn is said, okay, you may have bought multiple brands. Shame on you. You know, we all want you to buy GD or compare. Of course we do. But equally respect that. Don't worry. Our service tool to keep us servicing you can allow us to connect those other brands. And more importantly, once you've got those other brands connected, of course, it gives you the service tools. But equally, it gives us that extra bit of information about when that machine is due a service next, how old it is, so it fits right into the pipeline for maybe a next upsell for you, and equally gives that customer consistency. And that's a huge message. But if we've got that brand connected, and by the way, yes, we've done Boga, yes, we've done Atlas, yes, we've done Ingersoll Rand, you know, we are proving this case, and people are starting to pick up on that. Plus, the market's starting to pick up on that. So we can connect our machines. The Gardner Denver connection is richer. Of course, it always is. We can connect to competitor machines. And in those machines which are Gardner Denver enabled, we can do HD. But now, if customers want to do more and go beyond the machine, then we can allow these new sensor packs. And the strategy is around these next generation sensor packs. And to enable them, HD is the subscription model. So if you enable HD on a machine, these next sensor packs, when you plug them in to that physical gateway on the machine, that data will come online automatically. There's nothing more to do. So the two next sensor packs I'm proud to announce are going to be Iconn Energy, because there's been a huge request from lots of our distributors and a lot of our end user customers about collecting more consistent energy data. So if you think about it, I've got machine connected, I've got my customer signed up to HD, I've put this into a contract, I've just hidden it within my service contract, the customer gets this benefit. And then we can plug in an energy sensor and we can start to measure that energy in real time. And that would be minute by minute alongside HD. And all that data will be visible on the platform, downloadable for you, because also by allowing it to be downloaded for you, you can create your own reports, maybe put your own brands on top of those reports, just like you do today for some of your keen customers, and start to really give them that real-time analysis. So it's pretty, powerful when you consider what Iconn Energy can pick up from and do. So that's the first sensor pack alongside Iconn HD. The second sensor pack we're developing is, on top of energy and measuring energy, is going to be flow. Because, of course, to measure with energy sensors, you also need flow sensors. But we also have people that are wanting to measure flow across the entire site. So with Iconn, what we're doing is connecting in flow sensors, which give us both flow, temperature, and pressure. You know the ones we're talking about. They're going to be a single cable on a daisy chain, and they're going to be straight away plugged into that gateway, and they will come online automatically. We're supporting up to 5 of these flow sensors. So each gateway will support up to 5 flow sensors, 1 energy sensor. You'll get the whole lot mapped out. And then you're starting to really understand what's happening in that facility, what's happening in that customer experience. And remember, just remember this now, the Gardner Denver machines come fitted as standard, great. You have retrofit kits to go out there and connect existing Gardner Denver machines and or competitor machines. More importantly, if you think about it, if you put this onto a competitor machine and enable HD, these flow and energy sensors will also work on that competitor product installation. So you're starting to really develop a seamless experience around information and how you give that customer, a better managed, maintained installation. Now, all this is happening this year. That's the big one I wanted to talk about. It's not coming in 2020. This is happening this year. And for you, I want you all to start thinking about how do I start putting this into my business model? Because the best way of applying all of these technologies into your business model is use them as enablers, hide the cost into your contract to serve, and give that customer a different way of working, a new SLA maybe, a new on-site agreement. Some of our leading lights are actually saying, well, we're going to do a new contract, and when there's a problem, or when we see a fault, or when we see a flow problem, we'll actually respond on a phone call within 6 hours. Don't have to be on site, but they know there's contact. If there is a problem, we'll be on site within 24 hours. So you start to use data. But one of the things I really want you to take away from this call today, everybody, please, is that if you start to use it, you've got to consider how you bring it into your company. I've been to a few other distributors who have gone out there, fitted just a basic one, and actually not even looking at the data, didn't realize there's faults on machines, didn't look at the service hours, which are coming in every 12 hours. Fundamentally, you have to get to grips with the basic version and how you can use it in your business, and then move on with Iconn HD, then move on with Iconn Energy and Flow. But you need to think about bringing people forward in your business who are, got the desire and the capability that can use that information and help you put that into your service packages. And some of our more advanced distributors that are using maybe already asset management systems, who I've spoken to a few of you, please remember now, your system allows your data to be called from what we call web services and integrate into those platforms. That's already available. We don't have to do anything now. That data is available for you to get integrated into your business system. If it's out there, can somebody go on mute, please? Thank you. If it's out there, then you've got that capability and integration. So, on the final point, Iconn version 1, as you all know, is available now. Get out there, keep going with it, keep fitting it. Brilliant stuff. Iconn HD is out there, and it's available now. So people are already subscribing to that. If you want to know the SKUs, if you want to know the pricing, please connect with your regional sales teams, and I'll come back to you. Iconn Universal, that's available now. A lot of our main distributors are going out there, gaining the experience now, because that's also very important. To gain the experience on how it works, you've got to go and fit it. Iconn Energy and Iconn Flow, they're going to be available in Q3. We're building the materials to support those systems and putting all that extra information into RepsNet. I encourage you, please, all of you, to put it into RepsNet. If you've got any questions, there's a lot of data there. And again, your service and sales teams can support you. So, I promise you 20 minutes. And if anybody's got any questions, which they can write out, please, on the left-hand side, that would be great. So I'm just going to pass over to questions. And before I kick off on this one, I did have a question from somebody prior to this session about, who owns the data? How do we really change our business? Well, you know what, if you're struggling, perhaps we need to have a call with the sales team. Happy to do that myself personally with you. But if you think about it, the whole market's moving around information. The whole market's moving around connectivity. Using that data effectively in the business is the challenge. And a lot of people are struggling still to perhaps use even the basic stuff. So please think about it. Who owns the data? Or some customers are saying, I don't like you collecting my data. Well, actually, let's put this into context. Version 1 isn't collecting all that data. All version 1 is doing is sending up hours and faults. It's not actually deploying data minute by minute. If they want that, and I tell you now, the people who have got the basic version connected start to desire that, and it becomes an upsell for you. But all that data stays on the machine. In the basic version of Iconn, all that information stays on it, so we're not collecting all that data anyway. Have we got any more questions from people on the platform at the moment? Oh, I've just been sent an SMS by one as well. Typical. Okay, so where do we see the challenges coming in from, other competitors? I'm just going to go back on this one, what I've said before. The competitors and there's not many out there, are only using their technology for their brands. That's really key. And equally, they are putting it together in a way that makes it very difficult for a customer to use. With Iconn, we've made it agnostic to the brand. That's very important. And we've made the data open. So when you're setting up your customers, it's so important that you sit down with them when you've got that first machine connected so they understand the system, and you explain, you know, you don't need to be logged on. If there's a problem, we send you an email. But the openness of the platform is if there is a problem, it not only sends you an email, it sends us an email. And it creates a different detailed relationship between information between businesses. That's what we have to get. And that's the real differentiator in the platform. Does the customer have to subscribe to HD for monitoring competitor machines? No, they do not. No. The basic version of Iconn, version 1, applies to competitor machines. We don't charge for that basic monitoring service. So hours, faults, and warnings are all part of the basic version of Iconn. Yeah. Only when they want to go and do more live data streaming off the flow or energy sensors, or even off the Gardner Denver machines, that's when they go to HD. Where do we sit? Roger Kerr, where do we sit with the phone app? Well, there's an app for iOS, and there's currently a request for an Android app in with the business heads. I'm just, to be open with you, everybody, I'm waiting for that approval to come through from aftermarket. If you all want an Android app, then you know, send that email in, not to me, into your aftermarket teams, and they'll push that even quicker. And I guarantee the more weight you put behind that, the quicker I'll be asked to produce the Android app. The iOS one's there. Remember, the platform is also viewable on a mobile, so you can. It does mobile optimize as well for that short-term thing. Any more questions from anybody whilst I'm on this call for the last 2 minutes? I can probably do one or two more. Again, whilst we're waiting for maybe a final question, your sales team are going to be your rock. They're going to be your support. It's important that you really do understand the service tool now, Iconn, use it effectively in your business. And those sales teams are out there to give you the pricing for HD. That's important. And equally, if you're interested in running the beta trials of the new HD, and also with running the flow and energy sensors when they're available, because we are looking for beta sites. If you've got some customers which you already believe are keen, that would love to measure energy and flow, pressure, temperature in real time, please let that sales team know. Because if you've got those opportunities now, that really sets us a flag to say how many we're going to deploy in Q3. So with that in mind, I promised you 20 to 30 minutes. I've actually hit 25 minutes. I want to thank you for your attention today, and I want to thank you for your time. And again, I'm sure there's going to be lots of questions coming out of this in the near future. Just connect with us. We'll do our utmost to work from you. So from a Friday morning, which is currently very sunny but very cold in the UK, I wish you all a good day. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.